Hallelujah. I just feel led to come on here and share my testimony with everyone. I was going to have a bunch of notes written down and a bunch of different things, but I just want it to be from my heart. I just want to say whatever the Ruach has me say in the moment. I know that this video has been a long time coming. I've written my testimony out before and posted it to Facebook and stuff, but I really feel led, and I've really felt led to share it this way so that it reaches more people. And uh, I just think body language is very important. We're very visual people, and a lot of us are scattered far and wide, and I think this really helps as a form of fellowship instead of just reading what someone has written or voice messages, like just hearing them. I think it really helps to see someone, so I really feel led to just do this video, and I'll do my best to touch on everything. So, I was raised as a Christian. Of course, like every other Christian, I thought I was saved. And I know that I had the grace of Yahuwah working in me throughout the entire time, and I had His mercy and His love, and He's just drawing me the entire time, but I wasn't saved the entire time. I know that He was leading me up to the point where I was saved, and now I work every day towards salvation, but growing up, I definitely wasn't, and I didn't care about Him and didn't know the truth at all. I just believed what I was told. Just went along with what everyone else was doing, like the whole world is doing right now. My testimony really starts when I was 14 years old. My mom and dad were never really together. They were just like they dated for a very little bit. And I was not planned. And by them, of course, I was planned by Yahuwah. But, so I was back and forth between homes. I was back and forth between my mom and my dad's, and grandparents and stuff like that. And my mom got sick with cancer, and she died in 2013. I was 15 years old, and at that time I was into a lot of drugs. I was a very rebellious child. I didn't have much guidance. I kind of raised myself in a lot of ways. My dad kind of tried. I mean, I know that he feels like he did his best. His father really didn't give him the love that he needed, and he passed that on to me. And it was really hard. And so I rebelled, and I hated school. Oh, always hated school. That never changed. So when I was 14, I started fornicating. I started doing drugs, mostly weed at that time. And then I was very hurt, and I didn't have any direction. I didn't know about the love of Yahuwah. I didn't know His Torah. I didn't know His truth. I didn't know His name. All I heard all my life was that His name was God, and that His name was also Jesus, and that they were the same, 3-in-1 Trinity garbage. And didn't learn anything about Scripture, just that you have to go to church and you're saved by just believing that Jesus exists. The same garbage that Christianity is still teaching. And my mom wanted to go to church and stuff, and my dad never went to church, but my mom always wanted to go. And I remember a few times I actually felt the presence of Yahuwah. And it was only a few times because I never really saw him. But there was a tornado that went through my town, and my dad was in the middle of it, and his house was in the middle of it. And I didn't hear from him for a week. So, and I think I was like 12 at this time. So we're going to backtrack a little bit. I didn't hear from him for about a week because the tornado blocked all the roads. Like, it knocked down all the trees, so all the roads were blocked, and it broke all like the telephone poles and stuff. So there was no service or anything. My dad was kind of like just trapped in his area, and I couldn't get a hold of him. So I thought he was dead at that point. And I remember going to church with my mom that Sunday, and I was just praying, and I was like, at that time, I was like, God, please just help him to be okay. Please work a miracle. Like, I seek you with my whole heart. And that's one of the first times I actually like sought him with my whole heart. And I remember there was a song, I don't remember what it was called, and it sings love like a hurricane, I am a tree bending beneath the weight of his love and mercy. And that just made me think of my dad in the tornado, and I just started bawling in the middle of church. And I think that was one of the first times I actually felt Yahuwah's presence. And another time was when I went to this, I was in like a youth group in my Lutheran church or whatever, and they all took us on a vacation to go to Life Fest. It's a Christian festival. And I was worshiping there at this one song. I don't even remember who the artist was or what it was, but there was a big concert and it was nighttime. And I just looked up at the stars and I just cried out to Yahuwah, and I sang with all my heart, and I felt his presence, and I got goosebumps all over my arms. And I just really remember that feeling, that never ending love and peace that he has for his children that call on him with their whole heart. And that really touched me, and I'll always remember that. So those 2 times, and then I don't remember anything else until I was truly saved. So we'll jump forward to 14 years old. And that was at like the same time. I might have been a little, well, I think that was like the same like age, probably around like 12 years old. So now when I'm 14 years old, I'm into fornicating, a bunch of drugs, skipping school, just not seeking Yahuwah, just running after fleshly desires. And then my mom died, and I got really depressed, and I ended up like dropping out of school. And then I met my husband very shortly after that, and I like all the numbers add up for the dates. I was born on January 7th. My mom died on June 7th. My husband was born on October 18th. So if you take the day that my mom died, June 7th, which is also the same day as my birthday, 7. I don't celebrate my birthdays anyways, but like the day I was born, 7, plus my husband Alex's day, 18, it equals the day that we started dating, and also the day that we got married on. So I really think that Yahuwah gave me, well, I know that Yahuwah gave me my husband Alex in place of my mom passing away. So then we were dating, and we had a really rocky relationship in the beginning because we weren't seeking Yahuwah, just living to gratify our flesh every single day. And we fought a lot all the time, and it was very hard. And I was getting into more and more drugs, and like shortly before that I was doing meth, and like a boyfriend had gotten me into it and kind of like pressured me into it. And then I did cocaine, and both of those were very, very addicting. Cocaine was the most addicting drug that I ever did, and I felt that addiction. And Yahuwah just, I know he was with me at that point, even though I wasn't seeking him, and he just said, don't do it again, because I knew that if I did it again, I was going to be hooked for the rest of my life. So I stopped doing that, and I only did meth for want to say 2 weeks. And then, and this whole time I'm smoking weed. I smoked for 7 years straight, 14, and then 7 years straight, like as often as I could. I wanted to be high 24/7. If I could have been high 24/7, never sober, I would have been. But of course, I couldn't afford it. So I was going through bouts of depression, and then the only time I was happy was when I was high. And it was just horrible. And I was smoking cigarettes from when I was 14 because I saw my dad do it and my mom do it. And then eventually she quit, but my dad kept doing it, and all my family did it. So I thought it was super cool. And I was like, I gotta be like my family. And I just smoked for a long time. And it just put me in this downward spiral. And I also did LSD. I know they say that you can't overdose on it, but I almost did. And I had a very bad trip and went, like, I was tormented for like 4 hours by demons. And I thought that I was in eternal hell and I couldn't escape, and it was horrible. And it took me 4 days to feel like myself again. I was not myself. And I still struggle with recovering from that because it was very traumatic, and all the people around me just tormented me while I was in that state. And it was a really bad situation. And I have other situations like that with LSD. And anyways, I did a lot of drugs, a lot of just wanting to numb the pain that I felt. That was my whole life before Yahuwah, just numbing my pain, just trying to forget everything, just trying to feel temporary pleasure so I didn't have to face the trauma that I went through. I was sexually assaulted multiple times. I partied and was drunk and was sexually assaulted that way as well. Just many, many traumatic, horrible things have happened in my life. And Yahuwah saved me from them all. I should have died so many times. I should have died so many times in car crashes, drug overdoses, being molested and killed. So many horrible things that have taken so much strength to get through over the years, and it's only by His grace and His love that I am even here. Eventually, after doing drugs for so long, I stopped doing them all, and then I started just smoking weed and keep smoking my cigarettes, and got to the point where I was just so depressed. Me and my husband were living in this apartment, and I posted to Facebook every single day and said, I'm so depressed, I don't want to live anymore. No one reached out. You get the occasional comments like, oh, you're fine, just shake it off. I wasn't fine. I hated my life. I hated every part of it, and I didn't understand why I was made. I didn't understand why I was living every day. I didn't understand why Yahuwah had given me life. I didn't even know Him or who He was or His truth. I thought He was just a stupid guy named Jesus that nailed the law to the cross and doesn't care about you. Just live your own life, live your best life. And it wasn't a best life, it was a horrible life. Even at times I had everything I've ever wanted, it wasn't enough. I was just trying to fill that void in my soul with worldly things, and it was crushing me. I got to the point where I was so depressed that I couldn't shower. I couldn't brush my teeth. I couldn't do the most simple daily tasks. I couldn't cook food in the microwave. I couldn't get dressed. I just wanted to lay in bed all day and die. I just wanted Yahuwah to take my life, just kill me. And I prayed it every single day. And at that point, my husband and I were fighting every single day. I remember taking a shower. I was washing my hair and I was running my fingers through it, and clumps of hair were coming out from the stress and the depression. And I would just hang it up on the wall in the shower I said, why am I alive? What's the point? What's the point, Yahuwah? Why am I here? I didn't get an answer. Because I didn't seek him with my whole heart. I didn't understand. And my husband got into an argument. I told him I just want to die. I'm gonna kill myself if you leave for work. And he said, I don't even remember exactly what he said, but he ended up leaving for work, and I was gonna end my life. At that point, I was already cutting my wrists. The demons told me to just destroy my temple, just hurt myself, cut myself, and destroy myself. All I kept thinking about was that I couldn't live. I couldn't take the pain. I couldn't take not having a purpose. I didn't want to live every single day just to live for the day. I didn't want to live for the drugs. No one cared. No one reached out to me. My own husband didn't stay home for me. Everyone abandoned me. The world abandoned me. And I just wanted to die. I was in the kitchen that day. I was cutting my wrists. And I said, God, what is my purpose? Why am I here? I can't do this anymore. I'm gonna die. And I took the knife and I positioned it right at my vein. And I was about to kill myself. I was about to just let myself bleed out. And I said, why am I here? I can't do it. I don't want to live anymore. I don't want to live without you. I don't know what to do. I just can't take it anymore. And just before I pushed it in, I heard his voice. I heard him say, Lily, don't do this. You have a purpose. I have amazing things planned for you. Trust me, I love you. And I dropped the knife and I just started bawling. And I knew my purpose for the first time in my life. To love him and to be loved by him. Truly love him. Not with fake love, true love. I dropped the knife. I bawled for a good long while. And I surrendered my life to Yahusha that day. And every single day after that, I read his word constantly, feverishly, like my life depended on it, because I know that it did. I know that my life depended on it, and I stayed up all night and day just reading and reading and reading, and I just couldn't get enough of him. I just couldn't get enough of his promises, and I started unlearning all the lies of Christianity. I started reading about his truth, his goodness, his Torah. Alex's uncle knew the truth a little bit, and he was keeping Sabbath and eating clean. And I asked Alex about it one day, and I was like, should we be doing that? And Alex was like, I don't know. Because, we were just going to church every day, and they were just preaching the same old crap that they were, and they didn't know. So we read it for ourselves. And then we found the verse that Yahusha says, not one dot, not one iota will pass away from the law until heaven and earth pass away. Oh, and that restored us, and that renewed us, and it gave us life. The truth will set you free, and oh my goodness, it set us free. It broke our chains, and ever since then we've been pursuing the truth. Feverishly pursuing the truth. And then we learned about Sabbath. And we started keeping Sabbath. And oh my goodness, it was such a delight walking in His will, seeking Him with our whole hearts together, hand in hand. Oh, we died to ourselves. I died to myself that day. Even though He saved my life, I died that day. He gave me new life. Life in Him the way it was meant to be. I knew Him, truly knew Him, for the first time in my life. And He saved me. He took me by the hand and taught me His truth. And now we're keeping all of His feasts and His Sabbath. And I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't smoke weed. I don't do any drugs. I put away all sin. My husband and I were both rescued from pornography and all the abominations of our past. He saved us and set us free and gave us new life, removed our heart of stone and gave us a heart of flesh, and we seek Him with our whole heart every day. He's given us 2 beautiful children, 2 beautiful, healthy children. He's given us a home of our own, just a mobile home in the city. It's not exactly what we want, but we have a roof over our head and food on our table, and we get to just know His truth, which is the richest, most abundant, amazing, perfect thing in the entire world. And we are forgiven. And we can walk in His truth every single day. And we get to share that truth with others. He is good and He is faithful, and no matter your past, if He can save me, He can save you. Don't give up on life. Love Him and be loved by Him and love others, because that is our purpose. If you see someone struggling, you reach out to them. If you are struggling, you reach out to someone. You reach out to me. You read the Bible because you have purpose. So much more than you can even imagine. We're preparing for an eternity with our King. And life is so much more than what the church and religion tells you it is. His love is pure and unending, and all you have to do is seek Him with your whole heart. And He will forgive you, and His Son will come to you and love you like you've never been loved before. True, unending love. Breaks your chains, mends your broken heart, heals you from trauma, and removes addiction. He loves you. Just seek Him. Yahusha died for you. Call upon His name, Yahusha, and the Father's name, Yahuwah. If you seek the truth, you will find it. Hallelujah.